The 1979 D. Washington quarter, minted in Denver and identified by the small d mint mark to the right of George Washington's ribbon ponytail, is part of the long-running Washington Quarter series that first debuted in 1932 to commemorate the 200th birthday of the nation's first president. Struck in a copper-nickel-clad composition rather than silver, since the U.S. Mint had removed silver from circulating quarters in 1965 due to hoarding and rising metal costs, this coin weighs 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter. Its obverse bears John Flanagan classic profile of George Washington facing left, as dignified and stoic as ever, with the word Liberty boldly arching across the top and the national motto, "In God We Trust," positioned to the left of Washington's chin, a phrase that has appeared on U.S. coinage consistently since 1938 as a reflection of American tradition, patriotism, and cultural heritage. Below the portrait lies the date, 1979, while the reverse displays a powerful heraldic eagle, wings fully outstretched in a symbol of national strength, gripping a bundle of arrows, with olive branches beneath representing both war readiness and peace. Approximately 489 million of these quarters were minted at the Denver Mint alone that year, making them extremely common in circulation and generally worth only face value unless found in exceptionally high uncirculated condition or containing striking errors such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or filled mint marks. While most circulated examples exhibit light to moderate wear from everyday use, think vending machines, toll booths, and countless pockets, gem-quality mint-state specimens graded MS-65 or higher by collectors may fetch a modest premium, typically ranging from a few dollars to occasionally over $20 depending on luster, strike sharpness, and overall visual appeal. Though not rare in the traditional sense, the 1979 D quarter remains a fascinating snapshot of late 20th century American coinage, reflecting a time just before major design revolutions like the 1999 State Quarters program and long before digital payments began to overshadow physical currency. For many collectors and nostalgic Americans alike, a 1979 D quarter is more than pocket change. It's a tiny metal time capsule from the post-Vietnam, pre-digital era of gas stations with manual pumps, rotary phones, and arcades filled with Pac-Man and pinball machines, when coins still carried emotional weight as well as monetary value. Next top. The 1980 United States quarter dollar, commonly known as the Washington Quarter, is a fascinating piece of American coinage that reflects both the nation's history and the evolution of modern minting practices. Struck at the Philadelphia Mint, denoted by the small p mint mark on the obverse, which was actually the first year the Philadelphia Mint began regularly using its mint mark on quarters. This coin is composed of a clad metal mixture rather than the 90% silver used in earlier decades, featuring an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving it the familiar silvery luster without the intrinsic precious metal value of older coins. The obverse front bears the iconic portrait of George Washington, sculpted by John Flanagan and based on the famous bust crafted by Jean-Antoine Houdon. Above his head is the bold inscription Liberty, while to the left is the phrase "In God We Trust," a motto mandated on U.S. coins since the 19th century, symbolizing the nation's spiritual heritage and cultural values. Beneath Washington's neckline lies the date 1980 accompanied by the P mint mark. The reverse back features a heraldic eagle with outstretched wings perched upon a bundle of arrows, representing military strength, with olive branches beneath to symbolize peace. This dual imagery has long represented America's readiness for defense tempered by its desire for diplomacy. Around the eagle is inscribed United States of America and the denomination quarter dollar, with the motto E pluribus unum, out of many one, placed just above the bird. Over 635 million of these coins were minted in Philadelphia alone in 1980, making them relatively common in circulation today, and most hold only face value unless found in exceptional uncirculated or mint-state condition. However, collectors still take interest in variants such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or coins with strong strikes and lustrous surfaces graded MS-65 or higher by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC. While ordinary circulated examples remain plentiful in pocket change, pristine high-grade examples can fetch anywhere from a few dollars to significantly more depending on rarity of condition. Though not made of silver, many enthusiasts cherish the 1980 P quarter as a nostalgic artifact from a time when arcade machines, payphones, vending machines, and laundromats all depended on coins like these. Its messaging, liberty above Washington's steadfast gaze and I in God we trust by his side, captures the enduring principles America strives to uphold. For collectors, historians, or anyone curious about everyday objects with deep stories, the 1980 P quarter represents more than just 25 cents. It is a miniature monument to craftsmanship, symbolism, and American identity that continues to circulate quietly through daily life more than 4 decades after it left the minting presses. Next top. The 1983 P United States quarter dollar, minted in Philadelphia and marked with the P mint mark on the obverse just to the right of George Washington's ponytail, is a fascinating coin not only for its standard place in American currency, but also for its unusual position in numismatic history. Struck during a period when the U.S. Mint did not issue official mint sets in 1982 and 1983, high-quality examples are surprisingly scarce today, making uncirculated or well-preserved pieces far more desirable to collectors than most other modern clad quarters. The obverse of the coin features the iconic bust of George Washington, originally designed by John Flanagan and based on the famous bust by Jean-Antoine Houdon, accompanied by powerful inscriptions including Liberty boldly across the top and In God We Trust to the left of Washington's portrait, a reminder of the nation's long-standing religious motto. Beneath Washington lies the date, 1983, signifying a year of economic recovery and change in the United States during Ronald Reagan's presidency. Composed of a copper-nickel-clad alloy with a pure copper core, the coin weighs 5.67 grams and measures 24.3 millimeters in diameter, with a reeded edge designed both for tactile recognition and historical anti-counterfeiting measures. The reverse displays an eagle perched proudly on a bundle of arrows, wings outstretched in a stance of American strength and vigilance, surrounded by olive branches symbolizing the nation's dual reliance on defense and peace. Although billions were minted for circulation, most entered everyday commerce and endured heavy wear, meaning sharply struck examples with full luster, clear detail in Washington's hair, and strong feather definition on the eagle can command a premium. Some 1983 P quarters even exhibit striking errors, such as off-center strikes, die cracks, or misaligned cladding layers, which further elevate collector interest. While the coin's face value is just 25 cents, its historical context, from the absence of mint sets to the patriotic symbolism of its inscriptions, makes it a small but meaningful artifact of American culture, everyday commerce, and national identity in the early 1980s. Next top. The 1988 D. Washington quarter is a circulation coin minted by the United States Mint at the Denver facility, as signified by the small D mint mark located on the obverse front of the coin just to the right of George Washington's ponytail. Like all standard quarters minted between 1965 and 1998, it is composed of a copper-nickel-clad alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel layered over a pure copper core, resulting in its characteristic silvery appearance with a subtle copper-colored edge when viewed from the side. The obverse of the coin features a left-facing bust of George Washington, originally sculpted by John Flanagan in 1932 to commemorate the 200th anniversary of Washington's birth. Surrounding the portrait are key inscriptions: Liberty at the top, In God We Trust at the lower left, and the mintage year, 1988, at the bottom. The reverse, back, showcases a majestic bald eagle with outstretched wings, perched atop a bundle of arrows, symbolizing strength and readiness for defense, with 2 olive branches beneath, representing peace. Above the eagle arcs the inscription, United States of America, while E pluribus unum, out of many one, appears just below it, and quarter dollar is curved along the bottom. In terms of size and physical characteristics, the coin measures 24.26 millimeters in diameter, 1.75 millimeters thick, and weighs 5.67 grams, making it instantly recognizable in U.S. currency circulation. The Denver Mint produced over 596 million of these quarters in 1988, making them common in everyday circulation and generally worth only their face value, 25 cents, unless found in exceptional condition, such as uncirculated, MS, 65+, or mint set specimens, which may fetch between $2 and $10 among collectors. On rare occasions, error coins such as off-center strikes, double dies, or coins missing clad layers can be dramatically more valuable. While not rare, the 1988 D quarter remains historically significant as part of the final decade of the classic Washington quarter eagle reverse, before the iconic 50-state quarters program began in 1999, permanently changing the design landscape of U.S. coinage. For collectors, even a standard 1988 D quarter serves as a nostalgic artifact from the late Cold War era when Ronald Reagan was president. The U.S. economy was booming and cash-based commerce was still dominant before credit cards and digital payments began taking over. Its inscription, "In God We Trust," mandated since 1956 as the official national motto, reflects not only America's cultural heritage, but also the political climate of the mid-20th century, when national unity and identity were often reinforced through daily objects such as currency. Though millions still circulate today in pocket change, a clean, sharply struck example can be a charming keepsake, an everyday piece of history measuring less than an inch wide yet carrying nearly a century of symbolism, tradition, and craftsmanship.